10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the View from the Dead Box. This is another take. We are coming at you live with some crazy information this week.
Crazy information?
Some crazy
Breaking news?
Yes.
Like hashtag not Sports Center, Sports Center?
Yes. Hashtag Canadians not doing Canadians type stuff.
I know. So you talking about that Bill C-21 up in Canada? This would affect our old teammate. I say old, not our old teammate, our current teammate, Shane. We had him as a guest. A guest episode that you were not in, actually. We had your wife. It was me, your wife, and Shane in.
Yes. I seen them talking this about a week ago, and I just thought it was just bullshit, but I guess it's not. And it looks like they're talking about banning every type of firearm, and including paintball guns, airsoft, and guns that happen to be mag-fed.
Yeah, I think the way it's worded, it looks like our tournament guns, I think would actually be okay. From the way I read it.
Well, they're not mag-fed.
But they're not mag-fed, and they don't look like a firearm. However you define.
But milsim guns do though.
But milsim, yep. But it wouldn't affect the tournament side, but it would affect everything else. You know what I mean? Like all your die dam. Well, I mean those could do both, but anything else mag-fed. Everything that Tippmann makes for the most part now, not everything, but a majority of what they make is mag-fed. And then obviously we don't do airsoft, but that sucks for those guys because they're losing their fucking outlet to go shoot their friends.
Yep.
But can you think of the reaction that would have here in the States?
If it happened here?
Yeah. Do you think there's more paintball players that would speak up? Like I feel like right now, obviously in the States, United States, we have more paintball players probably than anybody else. I would hope that if this was here, everyone would be louder together because this is basically what happened in Germany. All those guns have to be F-stamped.
Yeah. Yep.
As firearms. So like all our guns now come with F-stamps. So some of the older guns those guys over there can't own. At least that's how I understand the law. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would hope that there'd be more attention brought to this. It seems to be just not a lot of attention brought to it yet. I don't know.
Well, I'll be honest. I think it's one of those things that would be kind of like the gun control laws that are, that have been trying to get passed for like 50 years here.
Yeah.
It's everybody, or not, I say everybody, they've been trying to push them, but it's kind of like there's too many people that are against it that it just will never really go through because that whole like no mag-fed guns in general.
Yeah.
Not only does that affect firearm people, but it also affects milsim, airsoft, certain types of paintball guns. It's way too big. I just think it would be one of those way too big of a blanket statement, a law to account for anything.
Yeah,
so
I would agree.
I think it'd be just hoopla at that point. They'd be talking about it for years to hope it happens, but it never would. Personally, I don't think it would ever go past.
I would hope not either. It's just I feel bad for those guys up in Canada, man. Like that's a rough one to be, because it basically says this would go into law May 1st.
They go.
Yeah, May 1st.
I've seen some of the guys in the Twister group were talking about it, so they were thinking that it would affect them as well. So
I mean, it's very possible. It depends on how they define firearm.
A hopper is technically a magazine of some sort. I mean,
well, again, there it goes. It goes, how do they define magazine? Because all the magazines technically are spring-fed, but if that's the case, then that could even affect phantoms. You know what I mean? Some of those are spring-fed. Not all of them, but some are. I don't know. It's just worded really odd, and it's hard for, obviously, people who are not lawyers, and we have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Dude, I have a pretty good...
Oh, yeah. You're probably... No.
Yeah, dude. Pretty good... oh, my God, dude.
Yeah, no, knocking my water bottle over.
I have a pretty good degree in Facebook law. So
oh yeah,
Yeah,
You and everybody else.
I can debate with the best of them. So if anybody else wants to debate, not a big deal. I'll pull out my degree of Facebook law. Well, we can go at it.
Yeah, I like watching your Facebook debates. We never got anything. This is kind of change the subject here a little bit.
I really don't get any Facebook debates. It's like Facebook arguments is literally.
Well, I mean that's fair, but nothing ever came of our whole hovering and flying thing.
I know. I was definitely thought I was going to.
I
But you
I
know what
did
the funny thing
too.
is we said this. There was an NFL clip of fuck it. It's two linemen from the Texans. I know it's J.J. Watt and I can't remember the other guy's name. Maybe Whitney Merciless, but they're sitting there and the blimp's going above them, and the other lineman goes, "Man," he's like, "That thing's like just gliding around up there," and he's like, "You mean flying?" He's like, "Yeah, no, that's not. It ain't flying. That's gliding." He's like, "It's just hovering." He's like, "Hovering is a form of flying." He's like, "No, hovering is not a form of flying. Hovering is its own thing. It's being stationary." He's like, it's using the ground. They were like going back and forth for a while. It was actually funny. It's funny that I randomly seen that NFL clip. We were just talking about that the other day.
I mean, our whole team, most of our team, works at like Gulfstream, so they're all in aviation, and it was pretty interesting. Everybody's perspectives on it. I mean, we all agreed that it's a form of flying for the most part, but it's still different.
It's different, yeah.
But it's a
I
form of flying. It's just a different form, I guess, of flying. I don't know.
like walking as a form of running.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I mean,
mean,
that's exact. Yeah, I mean, true.
I mean,
Because
walking
I
as a form.
think, what did Jamie say that made me think then jumping could be a form of flying?
Yeah,
He had
exactly.
said
It said
something along the
it's
lines of as long as you
propulsion.
went forward.
Yeah, propulsion off the ground and
Yeah,
moving in a forward manner. So if you were running and then jumped, you were flying.
yeah. I mean, I agree. You don't have to. It doesn't. I don't think it matters how far you travel.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
just.
when they throw the midgets at the
Oh my
dartboards, like
god.
what I'm talking about. Like in Wolf of Wall
Yes.
Street, they're throwing them on the the
Yes.
bullseye. Yep, they're flying through the air. They're
I
flying.
guess they. That's what I mean. They're throwing.
See,
You can make something fly by throwing.
see. I mean,
It's wild. It's a crazy world we
here we
live
are
in.
off on a tangent about
Here
flying
we
and hovering. Nothing about paintball
nothing about
whatsoever.
paintball at all. Okay,
Uh,
so what about you saw the other link I sent you, right? The Boston Dynamics robot, old Spot.
yeah, isn't that the thing that's been like that video is like 56 years old? Like,
Not well,
you know what I'm
him in
talking about? Like
general.
the one in the desert. They were like, it's like they're shooting a shotgun at it. It's like that's
Yes.
obviously fake, but I believe the bot is technically real in how it looks because in the
Yes.
video that I've seen earlier, where it's holding a paintball gun and is moving around and shooting, it looks identical to the one those guys were like beating with the hammer in the middle of the desert, testing it
Yes.
around.
They I believe they like lease them out. Like they have a few of them and so companies can kind of like test things. So that video you saw very possible it's real. I don't know like what the leasing terms are with it, but I saw that and I was like they put a did you click the full link where you get to Spot's Revenge?
No.
Okay, so I'll just kind of explain it. So obviously it's a Titman 98 on the back of the thing with like a normal like a steely tank. The first image of it, and it's you can tell it was done by someone who obviously looked at a bunch of paintball guns and didn't know what they were doing. They have a rotor on it too, which I find funny. But in the digital renderings of it, it's an A5 with a rotor attached
Yeah.
to the A5, which I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. And they advertise a 98 with the A5's hopper on it. So they flipped the hoppers, and then I guess they realized, oh, that doesn't work. So when they put it on there, it's the Titman 98 with the rotor.
Jesus.
I was just like, oh, this is funny. But on this Wednesday, if you go to like the Spots Revenge or spotsrampage.com, you at 1 o'clock Eastern time, you can actually get in there and we'll be able to control the robot. Every 2 minutes, it's going to rotate, whether you're on a computer or a phone. I think it's going to be sitting in a room, and it's supposed to be like an art project.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to like turn it around and shoot shit in that room with it, I guess. And I think they're gonna auction off. But the Boston Dynamics, the company that has it, when they saw that this is what they were using their robot for, they released a statement, and it says today we learned that an art group is planning a spectacle to draw attention to the proactive use of our industrial robot Spot. To be clear, we condemn the portrayal of our technology in any way that promotes violence, harm, or intimidation. Our mission is to create and deliver a surprisingly capable robots that inspire, delight, and positively impact society. So they are quite pissed that a paintball gun was
Well,
put
I
on
mean,
the
let's be
back.
honest. It's the American way, right?
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, oh, it's like here's an electric car that'll never need gas ever again. Has tires that'll never ever go bad. Only thing you have to do is just never run over 80 mile an hour.
yep,
1 week into it. Hey, how do we get this thing to run about
yeah,
200?
uh-huh.
Can we just get this thing to do about 200? Can it drive itself? Let's just get it to drive itself.
It's just
It's like,
innovation. That's what we do.
yeah, it's wild. That's the human way, man.
Or we're like, hey, let's put a gun on that. We can make a weapon out of
That's what I'm saying. That's the American way. Yeah,
it.
it's like oh, cool, a firecracker. Now, what if we had a firecracker that blew about 15,000 times bigger than that? That's a bomb. Yeah, let's build a
Yeah,
bomb.
let's
That
build a
sounds
bomb.
good. It's like always bigger, always better. And then how do we kill things? Oh, this is how we kill things? Like it. Roger, tracking. We're gonna blow all this up.
Because obviously the next step, and I'm sure someone out there is working on it, or like you were explaining that video earlier, you could easily, obviously, you can put a paintball gun on it, you can put a real gun on it. Like,
Yes.
that would be wild. Like,
If it's already holding, if it's already have a paintball gun system mounted, you can easily mount up a 240 Bravo on that
yep,
thing and let it just run through the woods and just melt fucking all kinds of people down.
it's like
That'd be,
fucking
that'd be great.
Terminator
Imagine,
2.
imagine like you're held up in a room, terrorist just chilling, you and your goat in the corner having a good old time, and this fucking robot dog jumps through your window and just melts down your whole family, just running around your house.
Well, especially this one, because this one is autonomous. Like, you don't have to control it. It can think
Yeah,
on
it's
its own.
yes, do its thing.
That is,
This is
that's
this is
sketchy.
the beginning of Terminator. This is
It
Skynet.
is.
This is
It
Skynet
is.
right here. It's gonna come self-aware, and we're gonna have iRobot all over again. We're
All
gonna have
that's
to
going to
call
happen is
upon
someone
Will
trying to
Smith
blow
to
it
come
up.
down and save us.
Call on Will Smith to come.
Hopefully, we get the good Will Smith
I
from
know.
like Hitchcock, where he can fucking have superpowers to fight them off because he's gonna need it. 'Cause he has an ass beat down in iRobot, so that's not gonna help
Yeah,
out too much.
he did. I mean, he was part robot. He had some. I guess he would be more like cyborgish.
Yeah, cyborg for sure.
But yeah, I saw that today when I was at work, and I was like, at first my immediate reaction was that's really cool, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh, that's not a remote control robot,
Yeah,
like a drone. You know what I mean? Like we do drone airstrikes all the time and stuff like
yeah.
that, and UAVs. I was like, this is an autonomous robot that we've put a paintball gun on. Now all it does is take one of those kids in there and go, I literally just have to clamp this firearm in here. This thing's ready to fucking rock, boys. Like,
Yeah, this is going right into a school for a fucking
and
massacre.
yikes! And we tell
That's what's gonna
Spot shoot
happen.
red hats. Yeah, I know.
Yes, anybody with a red shirt, shoot them, or red hats. Yes,
Yeah.
even better. Exactly, red hat, shoot. That's all you know.
But
God,
I was like, I mean, it's neat. But yeah, the Boston Dynamics people, I just find it funny that they're not happy about it. But it's like, what do you expect people to do, man? Like,
you gave
I don't
them,
know.
you gave them access to everything.
Yeah,
Hey, here's a robot that's
absolutely.
self-controlled that can do whatever. You can mount whatever, and it's self-aware. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Put a gun on it first thing. Not even a weekend.
Shit.
Throw a gun on
Do
this bitch.
it. Do it.
God.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I had two wild topics, and I got one that is more. Those were just out of the fucking blue. Like I saw them at work today, and I was like, obviously the C-20 Bill C-21 is a little more serious for the people in Canada, but it's something that even people here need to just pay attention to and realize something like that could happen, and
It's your government, people.
just pay attention to it.
It's your government.
And then the Boston Dynamics, like I said, I thought was just kind of cool. Like, I mean, if I could get Spot in my house to put a paintball gun on it, I would totally get it now. So, question: if someone's breaking into your house, do you want Spot with a paintball gun, or do you want Spot with a revolver?
Yeah, okay, well, a little bit. Can I have a Spot with a fucking 12 gauge? Because that'd be great. Just run around, just jump around.
That's fine because you're probably only gonna have 5 or 6 shots out of the 12 gauge too.
Yeah, unless you're
So-
running the 930 Pro. Then
Yeah,
you get
that's what.
11 rounds. Just let them have it. God.
Oh boy,
The American way, baby.
the American way. All right, so I got one more for you. What do you think about custom? Okay, when I say custom paintball guns, okay. What do you think when someone says, "Hey, look at my custom paintball gun"? Like, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
this dude is a noob.
Okay, yes, that's
The
fine.
first thing when he says custom paintball gun, I'm assuming it's a 20-inch barrel on a Tippmann 98 teardrop barrel
Okay,
on a Tippmann 98 with a giant, maybe like a 20 ounce, probably 20-ounce CO2 tank,
okay,
maybe a gas through grip on it,
okay, okay,
and like a 6-inch drop forward with a aluminum fold out feed neck, and then a shake and swear hopper that has like stickers all over it. That's the
okay.
first thing that goes through my head.
That's what goes through your head. Okay, that's actually completely different. I thought, honestly, I should have known that would have been you because I was a little more wild. I thought you were going to say like someone who doesn't know much about the sport, but maybe has like a just a custom anodized gun or
Oh,
something
okay.
like. That's where I thought you were going to go. So, what do you think about the people who do? I'm saying truly custom. That's still probably not the right word for this, but make like the Shigos and the Spimmies and all those wild
Oh,
things. Well, see, what about those? Would you consider that a custom
well,
gun?
those guys that do that have never probably used the word custom in their life. Like, they're never like,
No.
"Come look at my custom paintball gun." They would never say that.
Okay.
Like, they'd be like, "Hey, come look at this piece of shit I put together the other night," and then pull it
I
out of the
mean,
bag. And
a
it's
lot of the
like,
times that there are some that are done really well. At least with the Shigos, the Spimmies not so much. But
no, no. I always actually wanted. I know you've been working on
I got most. I can't
the
find a
Shigo for
solenoid.
a long
I
time.
can't
Yeah,
find a solenoid that's
yeah,
not overly priced, and I'm 100% sure it's gonna work and give me a season or two out of it. That's my issue.
yeah. I know that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
The what else? The spin. I've never really seen too many spimmies though. To be honest
No,
with
they're
you.
kind of. Somebody did. They called it a Shooks, and it was a
Now I
Shocker and a Lux.
yeah, that's kind of weird. I always liked the older matrices with the UL frames, like
Oh yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
those are kind of cool. Actually, what did I just see the other day? I just seen a wild ass gun with a UL frame. I think I seen like an old Gen Matrix, like a Gen 1 Matrix with a fucking UL frame on it.
Oh,
What
that
have
would
I
have been a
just
wild
seen? I've
one.
seen something wild. Maybe it was an Angel. I've seen something really crazy with the UL frame,
Oh yeah,
and
I
it
think
looked
they
cool.
do. Yes, they do Angels UL frames on Angels. That's fairly not common, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah,
one of the mods they do. I'm trying to see. I'm looking over here on PB Nation. They have the curator's corner here, where they do all these custom. The Spivvy is the one that always has intrigued me because
yeah.
it seems to be a relatively simple one to do. Some of the other ones are look to be very difficult. I guess I need to look in the voided warranty section. Now, what about the people that turn like ions into pumps? Have you seen
Like you,
those?
like you.
Well, I mean, I haven't finished that project either. It's got holes drilled in the frame.
You have like 46 projects started.
Yeah, because I what happens is I start scrolling through PB Nation on the internet, and I'm like, oh, ion for $20, and I'm like, I can get that. I can take that apart and put it in. Like, I want to put another one that I haven't started, but I know how to do this one, and I can do this one easy. Is put an ion inside of like a airsoft gun P90 because the way those ions come apart, everything can be separate, and you just have to
Yeah,
literally extend the wires of the trigger
hoses.
and put it right
Yep.
in the everything. And I'm like, that's what I really want to do, but I don't know. There's just so many. I was hoping I could find a spimming up here real quick that I could look at, but I
I'm trying to think what else. Those are the ones that I'm. Or how about the hybrid Timmies, the guys that had like the 2K2 bodies and the 2K5 frames, which are very common,
oh yeah,
super
yeah, yeah.
common. But then they
Those are
started
nice
going like,
too.
yeah, they started going. That was like if you didn't have a 2K2 and 2K5 frame, you were like ass. That was a normal thing. Like I got 2K5'd. Like that was all.
2K5, yeah, that was another one. The one I wanted to do as well, and I have the an airsoft, not airsoft, a pellet gun stock for this one. People putting like the pumps, but like a spider hammer or even like an old tiger shark or something like that, and
Oh,
they'll kind of yeah, I know, right? They'll set them inside the like wooden stocks of like a like a pellet gun or even an
yeah,
old rifle stock. That's something I've been interested in doing too. I just know I would never use them, and they would become, which I'm fine with it becoming a permanent wall hanger,
yeah.
but because that would just be like, oh, that's a paintball gun. Like, oh,
Isn't it-
here's someone did a DIY uh, ion to take die dam mags, which that's kind of crazy. They don't have a picture of it though, just a video. But
How about like the what two guns I never shot that I wanted to shoot that always seemed very weird to me? was the Rainmaker back in the day. The
I
Brass
don't know if
Eagle
I.
Rain.
Oh,
Okay,
Brass Eagle Rainmaker. Okay.
yeah. So Brass Eagle Rainmaker was like $500 back in the day when I was just getting started, and everybody had like spiders and stuff. That was the big deal. Then there's a gun called a Supernova. It had the crazy ammo on it, and it was very expensive back in the day. Those are two guns I've never ever see floating around, and I've never seen them ever used before.
Yeah, I want one of these. I saw pop up recently.
Supernova always had that weird, look kind of like an
It's
automatic,
round, right?
but the front of it is very long and like a cylinder and had foam on it. Like you can
Yeah.
hold the foam and shoot it. And it had a weird ammo that was like a black, purple, and like blue, like lightning down the side of it. It was kind of crazy.
Like a supernova.
Yeah, like a supernova. I think it's called like a supernova 700 or 7,000. I think is the
um,
name.
I see one here. This is one. So this actually popped up on PB Nation a couple years ago. They're calling it an Air Star Supernova. This would have been cool to pick up. They wanted $300 for it. Um, that's really all the info they have on it. It looks clean for being a million fucking years old. I'm imagining.
Oh
I
yeah.
can see where I think the foam went. So the foam, I'm assuming, went like around the barrel.
Yes. And
Okay.
that's where you held it. Yeah.
Yeah,
C
that's
clamped it.
interesting.
You gotta
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
C
yeah. You
clamp
see
on it.
clamped it. Yeah, I'm looking at the Rainmaker as well. That one looks
Yeah.
goofy. I think I would have rather
Yeah,
had the
it looks
Supernova
like
over the.
like electronic cocker kind of deal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it the one that had the giant like thing in the front and the hose in the
Yep.
rear, like a
Yep.
shocker?
And it's got some sort of solenoid up in that front. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. Oh yeah, it's got. Looks like it used 4 AA's
What?
inside of it. Yeah, it looks like how you had the Halo little 4 AA pack, and you had like the 6 or the 8s or whatever.
Yeah.
It looks like this has a 4 in the front. But I'm just going out. It could shoot 10 balls a second. Oh, just kidding. It had two settings: 14 balls a second and then 10 balls a second.
Yeah.
Early
This thing is.
early models operated on a 4 AA battery, and the later model ones went to a single 9 volt. But you
See that
could
picture where it's
convert them.
cut in half? Yeah, and you see the battery box and stuff inside.
Yeah,
Look at all that shit in the front.
isn't that
Jesus
crazy?
Christ, man.
It's just showing how much technology has changed. Like, not, I mean, paintball for sure, but even everything. Everything just got smaller over the years.
God.
You see the one where the guy has it sitting on like an old Suzuki Dual Sport?
Yes. Jesus, man. People were really flexing with this shit back in the day. With the
Oh,
purple
for
heat.
sure. That thing is wild.
And as I say that, I roll down, and like a couple pages down is what is that? Custom Brass Eagle Rainmaker. Looks like it has a Timmy's thing on it. It has
I don't think I see that one.
a
Oh,
shock
the
tip
frame?
2KQ frame. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is. Oh, wow, that's wild looking.
Is it not wild?
This is what you need to add to your collection. Something super obscure that you
Never ever
probably
used.
never ever shoot it, but you can just say like, I wanted one of these when I was a kid and couldn't afford it.
Yep. That's just wild though.
What year do you think this would have been?
98, probably
Okay.
99.
Yeah, that would have been before me. I would have been 5 and
I remember going to
6.
Walmart and buying our paintballs and the plastic jugs,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they had them Zap and Brass Eagle, obviously, and you can get them in little plastic jugs.
They held
And
like 200 in those, right? They
200,
weren't like
yep,
a full.
200, and they were clear, and they had a little spin off tops on them, like, and you can get them like yellow and orange and green and all shit like that. Then you can buy the cases of like Marbleizer and fucking shit like that. But I remember buying those and lasting all weekend on
Hmm.
200 rounds. It was like you could play all day, 200
Yeah.
rounds. I already played 2 days on 200 rounds.
Oh, for sure.
Because I remember when we first started, we were playing in Dad's backyard with right there where that slope is, the little grass hill, and we were playing with talons with 12 grams, and once we were playing with, and then we quickly we found out those are fucking junk, and then Dad got me a spider. I mean, I had a lot of spiders. I love spiders.
Yeah.
Dad got me a spider TL. No, what was it? I know it had a TL plus and stuff like that, but I think it's got a standard spider. And then
Yeah.
we put parts in it. Like Dad was ordering parts through National Paintball Supply back in the day, before they were turned into the Nazis they are now. and he started giving me all the like parts every week. Upgraded bolt, big gas through. Actually, it wasn't a gas through grip. It was called a not a fucking volumizer. What was it? It's a shit. What is it called?
It might have been a volumizer.
No. That's for the LPRs, like
Oh,
up in the
okay.
front. Like it would be a not a gas. It's not a gas through grip. It's a chamber, something chamber.
Like an expansion chamber, or
It's a grip, but it's meant to siphon, or I think it's like it basically is for CO2 guns.
oh, is
And
it the anti-siphon then? It might be that
no, that would go in the tank.
tank. Yeah,
I think it's maybe called an expansion chamber. Maybe.
I
Maybe that's what it
I, I don't
was.
know, but
But it was the giant grips in the front, and your hose ran from your ASA to it, and it basically got rid of the liquid and expanded the liquid into gas just to help out into the gun.
yeah.
But you can get like a 4 stage and a 6 stage, and that's how
Oh,
big
that's
the grip was.
badass.
But then you got like that. We got that, then like an upgraded bolt in the back, and then like a trigger, and then you can get like it was a single. First, my spotter was a single trigger. Then
Yeah,
Dad got me the dual trigger. Like obviously, if I don't know why you would need it. Dual trigger was great, but you couldn't really do anything special with it. It was still
no, it's just comfortable.
yeah, it's a lot more comfortable. So I had a bolt trigger, uh, the expansion chamber. I'm pretty sure it's called expansion chamber, like 99% sure. Then you barrels. And we played the barrel game. We'd change
Yeah,
barrels all the time to find the best barrel. We were super big into like solid stainless barrels back
yeah,
then. Like now we're all about light as possible. Need light.
yeah.
Back then we're like, man, this is great. Keeps the gun down and can't kick too much, and it's super slick. It gets more distance out of the ball and everything. What else is the upgrades on the gun? I think that was really about it. Then basically, you know how it works. You have a
Oh yeah.
5 spider now.
And they're not. I just did it 3 to 5 years later than you did. I did it
Yeah,
with an ion by then.
yeah. Um, and then my buddy had a Spider SE, which is so dope. That was the black and green camo one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
The splash anno one. You
yeah.
know, it's like think about it now. We were buying those spiders and stuff back then with custom annos on them for
Oh
like
yeah.
paying $1.
Oh
Now
yeah.
it's like an anno costs you $300 or $400 just for the anno alone. We bought that. We probably bought that spider for like 120 bucks, and it was custom anno like green and black.
Yeah.
It's like camo. It's so badass.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. Do you think maybe they just because they custom made everything, they just ran it like a? I'm not even saying custom, so it really wasn't even custom. They would just like run it all through. You know what I mean? Run it
Yeah.
all this. You know what I mean? It was different than your standard like a black ant, like a
It was the
solid.
FC's. It was a special edition.
And that could be
It
why
was.
too. Yeah, that's funny.
And that was
There,
not.
there are so many. You were talking about going to Walmart and getting the. They were still selling the 200 rounds in the tubes when I started going, because that would have probably been. I was 10. So or I was 11. That would have been 2004. I was in sixth grade. So we were like, I had the Blade or a Blade 2, I forget which one. And we would go and get them, like me and Jamie and some of like the neighborhood kids. And we'd come back to my parents, like drive us to Walmart, come back. And we had I don't know what they're called, like the wagons that go on the back of bikes for people to pedal their kids around with.
Oh yeah.
So we would pile all that gear, like everyone's guns, and we would take turns because it's too heavy for like one person to pull the whole time. And like you couldn't pull it
Yeah.
on a, we couldn't attach it to a bike, so we'd walk it, and we'd wheel it from my house to my grandparents' house and go play in their woods. And everyone would have these like 200 rounds, and we would actually just carry the 200 rounds with us, and we would just play like it was enough to go like a full day, like you said, sometimes
Yeah.
two, and we would just carry it like it was a pod to us. We'd literally carry it around and open it and dump 50 more rounds into the pump, and then run off into the woods. And then we'd load everything back up and trick it on back home, and everyone would leave their shit like in it because we knew like the next day we would all like whose mom's going to get 12 grams for us, whose mom's going to go buy paint for us, and we would just pool paint, pull 12 grams, and pick another spot in the neighborhood to go shoot at each other.
Jeez.
Wild.
The times.
Oh yeah. Now I can't even play a weekend on a case.
Hell no.
I can maybe do a case and a half. Maybe. How I do now is I buy the one full case, knowing 99% of the chance I'm going to shoot that unless we just have a short day. And then I know I'm going to split a case with someone and maybe split a case with somebody else because I'm like, I just don't want to be toting all this paint back home.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll buy one case, shoot it, and then I go to like Can or Chain because both of them are like, oh, I'm going to need at least one more too. And I'm like, all right, let's split it. And I split with the other one. I'm like, well, I guess we all could have bought two cases, but it just makes me feel better about it. I just don't like that paint. And how was the HK paint this weekend?
So they went to level 3,
Yeah,
which is still typically it's usually a little bit harder still. But I didn't have too many issues out of it, and it seemed like it was some guys had no problems and some guys were breaking it.
that's what I was noticing too.
It was up and down, and I don't know if we had that flash freeze
Yeah,
the 2 days prior. It went from 70 like Thursdays and Friday
yeah.
to Sunday. It went down to like 40 in the morning, I think, or 35. It
Yikes.
froze in the night. So I don't know if it dipped down so fast and maybe the heat wasn't on, maybe in the pro shop for the paint or overnight or something. I'm just guessing because it was just warm and hot the last 2 days prior to that,
Yeah,
and it dipped down and got into freezing cold weather and the paint wasn't taking. It's the only thing I can think of because it was just fresh. It just got there. And so
yeah,
it was very odd. Um, but saying that, I mean, we all shot the paint from the tournament, and nobody had a problem with that. And that's still 5-star. That was still pretty fragile.
yeah.
So,
And a couple weeks old too at this point. So
yep, yep. Speaking of paint, though, how about all the Cypress Kings guys? They all came out
yeah,
when they all they played a lot.
yeah.
I did
How many
not
people do you think we had out there?
Oh shit! I
40,
mean, I
50
think
ish.
yeah, I think they brought 15 or 20
Yeah,
alone with themselves. Um, and when we all started mixing everybody together, I was trying not to just run our main lines the entire single time,
yeah,
and everybody was kind of jumping in. So all of our guys are mixing up against them as much as we could with different divisional players, but hell, they had to bring. I'd say 20. Man,
for
it
sure.
felt
Yeah,
like 20.
it was a lot of people out
Yeah,
there.
shit, we probably had, I don't know, 45, 50
Yeah,
easily. I think
I
everybody.
would say so.
Yeah, and we played probably from like 10 to like 3, and we were
Yeah,
packing up and leaving. They were still like some of them guys were still there. Like some of them showed up a little bit later, so they were
yeah.
still playing, like still going right back to back, running out there. I'm like more power to you, dude. Take
Hell
it.
yeah.
So I think they were saying they were either looking at different fields or they were having an issue with the field they were at now. So they're going to be, I think Rex is talking about traveling down here a little bit more often. I think they're going to come down possibly the week before the CPSL. So we might try to set up one big scrimmage here the week before the CPSL. Maybe talk to Brantley and Davies and all those guys and
Yeah.
get them all down here. We have and maybe get the Jacksonville guys to come up just for a scrim in general.
That would be good. That would be a good variety of teams from like solid D4 teams to if we get some of the Jacksonville guys, some solid D3 teams.
Yeah,
So
it should
that's
be pretty
awesome. That'll be good. When do you know when that CPSL is by chance?
27th
27th of
March.
March. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So everyone who's listening, stay tuned to that. We will definitely let y'all know if we're having a scrimmage either here or on the Facebook page as well. Did you
It's
have
crazy.
anything? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
Keep
punk
going.
beer.
Yeah.
It's crazy that the amount of people that I don't know didn't know listen to the podcast,
Oh yeah.
and they come up, they're like, man, I'm liking the podcast, and I'm like, you listening? Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So some of the Kings guys I did not know, and they were like, are you Wes? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, all right, I'm just trying to put a face to the name of who's
Yep.
on the podcast. And then he's like, who's the other guy? And I'm like, oh, he's the bum over there that's hung over,
Yeah.
not playing today in the green hat. And I'm like, that's Michael. And I said, he's like, dude, he's like, somebody told me about the podcast and I never listened to it. He's like, I listened to a couple episodes. He's like, it's like, I'm really liking it. Like, keep it
Yeah.
up. He's like, it's content that, you guys kind of talk about stuff that not the rest of the podcast all talk about the same shit. He's like, you guys are kind of also, so
I think we do hit it in a little bit of a different perspective because we're not pro players or like in the industry. You know what I mean? We are
Yeah.
literally career Division 4 D3 players that are fucking cruising it until we can no longer
chilling,
cruise
just
it
some
out.
buddies, balling it up, having a good time, just chilling.
That's really all it is.
Who go
Speaking
for
of that,
wings and beer after practice.
we do. I did get a new batch of stickers in. I went with round stickers this time, so
Okay.
we will see. If anyone comes on by, they see me, I will have these in my truck. I still have some of the square ones left over as well. I need to give you like a stack of them.
Yes, you do.
So-
People ask me all the time.
Yeah, I have.
Dude,
I have.
your signature, man, and I'm like, nah, dude. I got to charge you for that, bro.
I did sign a few of them just for shits and gigs. I'm just kidding. I thought about it though.
All right, take a look at this mask.
Okay.
This is a mask that I low key really like. I just sent it to you.
Okay, let me see.
Tell me what's going on with this mask. Because I really like this mask.
Where'd you send it to me? I ain't got it yet.
Text it.
Oh, hold on, here it
Big
comes.
bum ass Android shit. I'm like digging that mask right there.
Yeah, you can get one of those. Who? That's who? Do you? Did you buy? That's your house.
No, it's not. It's not.
I mean, I got the frames in the background.
Yeah.
You can't see the mics there, but
What's the
that's a snow camo
yeah,
frame.
yeah.
Those are like the new style soft ears. That's the
Okay.
snow camo strap, and those are Pro Shield bottoms. Those are the hard bottoms.
Goat.
Are you gonna
Hard
get
bottom.
it?
I don't know. I like it a
Good.
lot. I like it a lot.
And they went the extra detail and the little white
The
Chicago
white Clifton
screw.
bottom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
people are doing those now. You can just get like any old special Chicago screw, but some people
Yeah.
sell them. I thought about doing that with some of mine because I'm like, ooh, if I put I have some that are like some red frames and black bottoms, and I
You
was
get
like,
a
ooh, if
red
I put
screw.
red screws, I was like, that would kind of like it looks good
Oh,
with the black because
good
it's
at
just
all.
like the standard. I'm like, but that would be, and same my Miami Dolphin ones. I thought about doing orange right there
Yeah.
because the bottoms are white, and I'm like, ooh, that'd be good. But to buy those screws, a set is like $12 because you know what I mean. So it's like you're getting
Yeah.
two, and it's like, god dang, $12 for
Probably go to Home
two
Depot and find
screws.
some. Paint
I
them.
thought about painting them myself.
Yep.
It wouldn't be hard at all to do. I could even probably paint the ones I have.
Yep.
But yeah, that looks good.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that mask a lot, honestly.
you could probably talk to Can Can.
You
He,
think he has enough shit to build that?
yeah, obviously probably not the white pieces because that's kind of like a newer thing people are starting to do. But he would for sure. I know for a fact he bought two of the snow camos.
Yeah.
So like he's using one set of his frames. I don't think he's using his other set. Now, is he going to sell it? I have no idea. But you might could talk to him. He might have all that stuff. I used to have Pro Shield bottoms. I don't know whether I definitely have a set of ears if he doesn't.
I just texted him. We'll see what
Yeah.
he says.
Hold on. He sometimes he might get back to you real quick, or it might be 3 days.
Is that how he is?
Oh, for sure. For
I don't
sure.
even.
For sure.
It's crazy. I've known him for like 56 years. And I barely ever text him. Like we always just talk in group chat. Like that's really
Yeah. I don't even text him anymore. It's always Facebook.
hmm
That's how I do a lot of people. I'm like, I don't even have people's numbers.
Yeah, that's also true.
But did you have anything else?
No, no. How about old Arthur?
How about old Arthur? I
Did
hadn't
you see
seen
him?
him. It was a really long time since I had seen him, and I was
13
very
years.
young when I
13
had
years.
seen him. Yeah. He probably doesn't even remember me because I would have been.
Yeah, no, he remembers you.
Does he? Okay, because
Yep.
I was a kid.
He remembers you and Jamie.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I saw his post on there with his whiskey after the fact. He played pretty good considering
That's
he
what I
hadn't
was saying.
played in
I said,
years.
yeah, he was like pushing the issue, like up in like he was playing up in, like on Snake Side a lot too, like going up
Yeah.
to the middle, going to the ice and stuff, and did a couple run throughs, finishing
Yep.
games out. I told him, I'm like, I said, I really expected you to be like a lot more shittier than you were.
Yeah.
I said, first weekend back in 13 years, I really thought you would be a lot more shitty. And
Oh
he's
yeah,
like,
that's how everybody is.
I definitely thought I was going to be as well. So that's a good thing though.
Oh
know?
yeah, and not to pull Can Can's ego. Can Can had a really good practice yesterday.
And I know he hates it too.
I know.
And I told him, I'm like,
I know.
when you feel it's gonna have a hot center, you're just gonna be in it. Like I'm sorry. I'm like,
I know.
well, I don't want to go there. I gotta contain. I'm like, listen, dude. I'm like, you play way too well at the center. It's like it's got to be me or you up in the center.
I
If
know.
it's a very key bunker and you play really good up in the center, that's just how it has to happen. He's like, well, as long as I can like gunfight, I'm like, nah, listen, if it's a good bunker in the center, you're probably gonna be up in there. I'm like, I'm sorry to tell you, like,
After you talked to him yesterday, he came to me and I was like, Shane, I was like, yeah, I told him, I said, dude, I just watched you run through and shoot 3 people and not die every time. And you like, we're playing good team. Like you were, he gets lost up in there. And like, I told him too, I was like, if you kill one person up there, you've really done your job. Like that's all you have to do. You know you're getting ready to die. But he was, and I said, you get one with a high probability of getting 2, it's well worth the move. And then I was like, you're even doing this in ways where you're getting 3 kills, 4 kills. I mean, you might kill a guy and then run through and kill the other 4. And it's like,
or you, but you're
kills.
doing that. You also start off a whole bunch of commotion.
Oh yeah, because then it just lets someone on the D side push, and then the snake side gets a gun pulls off him, and everyone's like, "Whoop, let's all flood together."
We're gonna have to figure out what's going on with the snake. I'm
Yeah.
not wanting to play the snake. I fight
No.
at all. Like I have a feeling I want to end up playing points in the snake.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, what we had to do with the MVPS was me and Kankan literally just contained it and
yeah,
just kept there. We're just gonna stay alive. Like I didn't shoot the 2 or 3 games we did that play. I didn't shoot a person. I shot paint. I shot
I
a
think
lot of paint.
I think when
But
Daniel gets here, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, dude, I know you really like the Doritos a whole bunch, but what do you feel about going into the snake? Right? Like, just hear me out."
oh
He
yeah,
picked the one on the Dorito side, so we'll see if maybe he wants to play the one on the snake side. I highly doubt he will. He's
no,
a broken, old, beat up army guy. I
heck
mean,
no.
he's not old. He's like, I think he's like my age, so he's
Yeah,
not crazy old, but
so old.
um,
What's old to you?
40 plus. Like, I think when you break
Oh,
40, like you become old. Like you're older, right?
I always said
You know what? I
45.
say old. I say okay, yeah. All right, so you're older, right? If
Okay,
you're 40, you're older. When you hit 45, like that 45 to 50 range, you're
yeah,
old. Like you're old. You
I
know what I mean?
agree. And my reasoning for it is if you hit 40, you can double it. That's 80. There's a decent possibility of making 80. You hit 45, you're probably not making 90. Like so, you're
Yeah, okay.
then you're old at that point. If you can't double your age, you're old.
That's actually that's it. I like that.
That's how I've
Good
always thought of
mathematics.
it.
Yeah, okay. I like
Because
that right
people
there.
used to like ask me that at work, and I'm like 45, and they'd be like 40, and I'm like, yeah, you're not old yet, and they're like, what? I'm like, double it. It's 90. You're probably not making 90. You can still double 40, so you're not old yet.
Yeah. So one last thing before we
Okay.
get off. You know that Matthew
Uh huh.
Strohmeyer and Carson have the exact same job and title for the
They're
same
both produce
store.
managers.
Yes. At obviously way different locations,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
One's here in Hilton Head, or I say Hilton Head,
Bluffton.
Bluffton area,
Yeah.
and one's down in Destin area or Fort Walton Beach. But first of all, it's very weird to have that job and know somebody else that plays paintball that has the exact same job as you,
Oh
right?
yeah. For the same
um,
company.
yes, right, same company. But uh, now Carson is still a fucking bum, but he is now Stroh's boss. He has he has gotten a raise, like promotion wise, and
Yeah.
now he is the ASM for
Oh, that's
Publix. Yeah,
badass.
so now
Hell
he's the
yeah.
assistant store manager. So now I shit on Stroh because
yeah.
he was shitting on Carson. He was like. He's like, I'm the king. I'm the king of Publix.
I'm the
He's like,
king
we
of
got the same job
Publix.
title. He's like, but I'm the king of Publix. He's like, because I place better. He's
And
like,
I get to play.
I'm just better. Yeah. So now Carson can hang that over Stroh's head that now he has the promotion and he's the ASM. So I told him that, and Carson texted me. He's like, now I have a weekend, one guaranteed day every single weekend off, and it's a set schedule, so I can start. It can get coming out and
Yeah.
get everything together. And I was kind of like just fucking with him, and I text Stroh and I said, looks like you got a new boss in town, buddy. He's like, what you mean? I told him. He's like, oh well, he lost all his free time. He's done now.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not what he says.
That
So
is
we'll
funny as
see, we'll
shit.
see. But I wanted to give him a congratulations.
Oh yeah,
Becoming,
definitely. Because we always shit on him. I mean, he's still poop, but
oh yeah, dog shit for sure, 100%.
that's
Um,
awesome.
so yeah, so
Cool.
fuck you, Carson, you're a bitch. But congratulations on the promotion.
Oh yeah. But all right, I will take us out of here then. After that one, we had a job promotion on here today. That's great.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching, listening. Be sure to check out. We have some different merch up there. There are some Georgia Extreme hoodies. I believe 2 have actually sold. I know one went to Payne. I don't know who got the other one. There's a wild pair of Georgia Extreme pants. I put them up there anyway because they look like shit, and I'm just curious if anybody will ever buy them. So if you want some wild pants for no apparent reason, check them out. But
Nice.
stay tuned, listen to the next one, and we'll see y'all later. Peace out.
Laters.